Hey, you there. Thank you for watching and welcome to Forged Alliance Forever. Today I have a 5v5 custom match on the map Dunes of ARRACIS. It is a 10 by 10. So let's go ahead and introduce our players, starting with Team 1 up here to the northeast and Team 2 down here to the southwest. With the first player of Moresco, he's going first land in Crimson as an Aeon. To the northwest, we have the Duelist, another FAF caster here on YouTube. He is going first land in Teal as a UEF. To his west, we have Zelda Fanboy going first land in Pac-Man Yellow or Triforce Yellow. I guess in honor of him being Zelda. And again, he is a Cybran. To the north, we have Sea Striker 16. He's going Cybran as well, going first land in Stitch Blue. And of course, the last but not least on Team 1, we have Neo Gun going first land in Amethyst Purple. Most likely the rear guard air slot for the... most likely going to be playing air in that slot, I should say. So for Team 1, in terms of racial disparities, we have 3 Cybran, a UEF, and an Aeon. So no Seraphim tech on that side of the map, no Awashas, no chickens or any of that sort. Let's go ahead down here to the southwest section of the map, starting with the Royal Purple player of Bernie going first land as a Cybran in, of course, Royal Purple. To his north, on the way to the middle, we have You Got Beef with a little face. Going first land, second air, third land maybe, or second land, third air, one of the two. Again, he is in Barbie Pink. No, to his west in Royal Blue, we have Dozer, must be a fan of Payday series, going first land, already on the move, and again, he is UEF. To the west, the first Seraphim player of the game, we have Ryan Milligan going first land, second land, I think. Yeah, second land. Again, the factories for the Seraphim look a little similar. But again, he is in Batman Gray. And again, he is going first land, second land as a Cybran. And last but not least, for Team 2 and of the game, we have Rogel Dorn in Ruby Red going first air. He's going to be the main air player for Team 2. And again, he is Aeon. So for Team 2 side of things, 4 factions representation, we have 1 UEF, 2 Cybran, a Seraphim, and an Aeon. All of the technologies, advantages of each faction are represented here on this side of the map. In terms of reclaim, as of right now, let me pull up my handy dandy little counter here. We have 21,750 remaining, so probably about 22,000 at the onset. So a decent amount of reclaim for everybody to scoop up. We also have these dual hydrocarbon factories. I think they're hydrocarbons, right? They're not. Yeah, hydrocarbons. I for some reason want to say hydroelectric, but that's not the word I want to go with. Just dotted the line of the map, indicating the middle of the map. Very nice visual, as well as a decent amount of mechs, especially for a 10 by 10. They're all spread out. There's no there's kind of a group of 2 here, and that kind of thing, but there's no group of 3 or group of 4. So they're all spread out, so to expect layers and layers of defenses and structures here on the map. We have the player of Zelda Fanboy in the middle of the map getting his first Ford factory online. Gonna probably build some NGs and scoop up all of this juicy reclaim in the middle. This is probably the most congregated section of mass extractors. It's 4. It's not the end of the world, but get those to T3. It does make a difference. 3 players now appearing here in the middle for both teams. We have the Duelist, and of course, and Fanboy facing off You Got Beef. Sounds like You Got Milk, but it's beef instead. We have a Ford quad production factory here for the Dozer. And last but not least, we have, of course, Ryan putting in a Ford factory down. Everybody pretty much except the air players of Rogel Dorn. I want to say Royal because of the how it just, Royal is just missing that Y. And Neogun in the back of their bases. So all of the comms on all of the land focused players are out. I got rid of that NG mod. I think it actually makes it a lot easier. You don't really need to see all those ones running around. It makes the factories and the mass extractors pop out a little more. Zelda and Duelist are pushing forward. They took out that mass extractor and now that radar for You Got Beef, and they're trying to push them off the center of the map. I do like the fact that we have NGs just building energy back here. Zelda doesn't have a whole lot in the toe, so this will get him I think it's a flat 100 if it finishes. in a couple of seconds. We have comms fighting one another. Yeah, it is 100. I had to remember that for a second. Zelda started to engage with the assistance of Duelist, but the comm of You Got Beef backs up. Dozer is in trouble, moves in to assist, tries to hold back the comm of Zelda Fanboy, but all of these units are being blapped away. In terms of hit points, Zelda Fanboy is lower by 2,000 just to start off, as well as an additional 2,500 units out here from him trying to assist, taking out the comm of Dozer. The Duelist just kind of hanging out. Would have liked to see him come in a little bit more to help take out the hit points of the Dozer. The Fanboy using the Mantis to try to trip up that UEF commander. Looks like that UEF commander is going to back off. You Got Beef is now emboldened by his compatriot. Is going to push the front line. The Duelist on an upgrade at 4%. Starts to open fire on You Got Beef, but You Got Beef has already taken damage. Anything in the north, it's just kind of, some units, but not really a whole lot of action. Gun speed going down from Moresco. Already has the range upgrade. Comm of Bernie just assaulting any of these early mechs here from Moresco. Pretty much most of the action is happening in the middle of the map. There are only 5 players, so 2 of them went down the middle. 1 of them went down the bot and top lanes, if we're referencing League of Legends here. So all of our players just trying to get some sort of territory and front line sorted out. Would like to see Zelda Fanboy go with his units here to try to assist with this pushback. This is just going to be not a mass dump, but just veterancy for the comm of You Got Beef. Zelda doing something similar. We have a lot of mech marines just getting assaulted by the comm of Zelda. They start opening up on his chassis. They don't deal a lot of damage individually, but it is definitely the definition of death by 1,000 cuts. We have a forward triad going down for the Duelist, trying to secure the middle section of the map, trying to hold out as best he can. Gun speed and range going down for Beef. T2 going down for Dozer. Very similar to what is going on Team 1's side of things. This is Team 2. I keep thinking Team 1 should be on the left and Team 2 should be on the right, but this is very much a Settins kind of style where the Team 1's in the northeast and Team 2's on the southwest, if that helps everybody remember where the teams are, because I even forget where the teams are sometimes. Decent amount of defenses. We have some anti-air. We have intel. Good to see that placed here. This will allow Team 2 to see a decent section. We'll like to see the comm of Dozer as well. So maybe there'll be some kind of coordinated play here with somebody on the north. So I would like to say this is Team Red and this is Team Blue, but both teams have red and blue, so that'd be very confusing. So we'll just say yellow and red, just given by the colors in the scoreboard for now. And again, these are lighter colors, so I can actually read them, which is very appreciated by the RNG gods of the scoreboard. A forward Team 1 PD being spammed up here. Not really going to do a whole lot from that range. He noticed that his opponent's building mech marines, so maybe trying to take those out as fast as he can. They do have the highest fire rate in the game, the Team 1 PDs. Well, I guess the Ravager maybe has. Well, it has a lot of burst, and then you have to wait for it to reload. So I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what PD has the highest fire rate in terms of T1. I think the Cerberus has the highest for T2, if I remember, because it just constantly fires. But a line of PD establishing a forward line for Team 1 here in the middle of the map. A little bit farther forward than that center hydrocarbon line, but, more territory is better than less territory. You can see the PD just starts annihilating all these mech marines. These mech marines are very effective at taking out very, small targets, and if they get overwhelmed, that's kind of the end of the story, but T2 Triad doesn't help that situation, and that PD and wall go down. Not really a whole lot of attempts on run-bys. We have a Cerberus out here to the north out here from Sea Striker. Ryan pushing with his comm and units using the comm as the bullet sponge, and it opens up onto those PD. Going to start taking those out. Now the units out here from Ryan are going to push forward and deal the rest of that damage to those Cerberus. This is going to force Striker to fall back, unfortunately, for Team 2 up here in the north. Team 1 unfortunately gaining some ground here in the middle. Zelda fanboy is getting caught up by a decent amount of these Mech Marines. Mech Marines, of course, are very weak. There are some Mantis inbound to help assist. And they get in, they take out some interceptors out here from the duelists, but not a huge concern. Most of that force was wiped out. They lost a Extractor, but duelist being surrounded by 2 comms and units out here from Team 2, and this is gonna hurt. The duelist is gonna go down. He was 2-bet. So sorry to see that duelist. I do apologize for that. He, of course, is a another fellow caster, so it's always sad to see those particular players go up in smoke. But again, he was caught, you know, in a pincer maneuver as well as he was outgunned severely. We have some gunships on approach. These T1 jesters from Zelda, a little too late, but they are targeting the weaker comm of You Got Beef. And unfortunately for Team 1 here in the middle, this is going to force them back. 3 comms again in the middle, not really a good sign here for Team 1. And just You Got Beef is just going to walk straight back. If he's not too careful, he will be caught unawares and be able to be taken out. But the comm of Zelda is falling back, probably going to regroup with the blue player of Sea Striker, the Stitch blue player specifically. There are 2 blue players in this game. Now, I guess, I don't know. I feel like teal's a blue and then turquoise is more of a green. I don't know. Let me go down in the comments. That like teal, turquoise, like middle grass, cyan, whatever color you want to call it. Let me know what you think I should call that. That's one of the only ones I just have struggles with trying to figure out what I should name it. But the comms of both Bernie and You Got Beef are pushing Zelda back further and further. They are in range, and this is not going to be good. Zelda gets a ranking vet, very crucial. But those hit points are just being blapped away by Mantis and comm fire. And this comm is not getting away. He needs a transport. There would be interceptors nearby, so that wouldn't work. This comm is going to go down. Unfortunately for Team 1, boom. And we have 2 players out here for Team 2 that could easily be taken out by some nearby units, but there's nothing. They are very far forward, unfortunately. We have ASF over the top here for Rogel, Dorn, as well, assisting in the defense of those comms. The comms will fall back. Very good move there. And this is a not a no share. It's a share until death game. So both the bases of the duelist and Zelda go up in smoke. So comm assassinations are definitely going to be on the minds of Team 1 here in the north. We didn't look at rating. It is pretty dead even, 1080. The highest rated player is Bernie, followed by Zelda fanboy. But unfortunately for Team 1, both their highest and second highest have been knocked out, leaving them kind of, you know, in a dire strait here. It's 5v3 here at this point in the game at 12 minutes, almost 13 minutes now. Take a look at ecos. Team 2 winning by not a whole lot, considering 2 of the bases have been completely destroyed. And there's a huge army here controlling the, I guess the sandy, what was once ocean possibly area of the map. But, you know, Team 1 only losing by about 30 mass. It's actually pretty good considering. For total mass of crew, Team 1 is heavily in the lead, though, at 152 versus 131. So 20,000 mass differential, and that would probably explain it. They had a lot of eco coming from both of those players. With Cerberus being spammed up, Cerberus very effective at taking out lots of mech marines and some T1 tanks. This push might get pretty close, but the closer they get, the more those guns open up. And unfortunately, it's going to force them back. T3 going on the way forward. The Dozer. Going to push him forward. I'm going to try to remember to do that every time because I am a fan of Payday, and I'm excited for Payday 3 to come out. Let me know if you guys want to see Payday on the channel. It's not a typical like top-down RTS style game, but it does have a lot of strategy to it, especially if you go stealth. And again, it's just a very fun game to play with yourself and your friends, of course, because you know, if you don't have friends, then you just play with the AI, and the AI is actually, I think, a lot better in this game, in the newer version. So go ahead, and I'm excited for that. Anyway, we have a push coming on here from Ryan. There is a battery of Cerberus that's going to force him back. Some T2 tanks, the Rhinos have appeared. Going to try to force him back even further. Fortunately, we have, you know, just a decent amount of tanks here for Ryan, and he also gets a rank and vet, so pretty much all of that effort was evaporated on taking out his hit points. Team 2 looking pretty strong here in the middle. We do have one player out here from Team 1 of Moresco still holding his position out here to the south on bot lane. He doesn't have a lot of defenses on his western hill side, but there is a T3 strap bomber coming in on approach. Impacts onto the shield. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage, actually, to that shield. There is a T1 anti-air turret, but that's going to do pretty much nothing. Save bomber, says Bernie. The bomber flies off the map. ASF are starting to congregate here to the front of Team 1's main base. We have some spy planes overhead. They're not going to really do a whole lot. T3 has been achieved for Team 1, obviously, just due to the fact that there are ASF. And it's really nice because you can easily see that with the little crown icon for the air factory. T3 ground or land has been achieved for Moresco. He's going to start pumping out NGs and then pumping out, hopefully, loyalists. That would be the name of the game. He has actually 2 HQs. He has one farther forward, and he has a T3 in the back line. So he will still have access to T2 technology as well as T3 if one of the, at least if the T2 goes down. But we'd like to see more SAMs or anti-air being built up, which I guess he's doing at the current time. He's building a transcender here. And all of the comms, except for the northern ones out here for Team 2, have retreated. Very sensible play there. It is 16 minutes. Drop bombers are going to start being a thing, but a huge amount of NGs goes down, trying to spam up some T1 anti-air turrets. And unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. They start, death by 1,000 cuts kind of thing. We still got 700 something hit points, and because that has a rank event, it will start to regen automatically. I think it's for free too once they get a ranker in veterancy. But we have a attempted run by, but there's just too many Cerberus, and Cerberus are being built, of course, all the time here for Sea Strike. Missiles are away. If they're going for ground units that move, it's probably not a good idea. But they are going for the comm. I think they're going for the comm. Ooh, that's going to hurt. One more missile. Oh, it was just enough. And that is a missile kill out here from Sea Striker. And that's going to bring Team 1 back in this game, at least if not a little bit, dropping this now to a 4v3 in Team 2's favor. We have a combat roll going on over here to the south for You Got Beef. But, man, that's got to hurt. 3 missiles exactly. Sea Striker knew exactly how many missiles it was going to take. Unfortunately, there is a shield, and Buzzkill have been spammed up. So the Dozer will be fine there for now. ASF Tossle over that firebase for the Dozer here. And Team 2 is now going to have air control for the time being. Definitely not really the play that it was really warranted, honestly. It wasn't really worth it. Good job scouting with your entire Air Force, says Zelda. Yeah, there's salt going down in the chat now. Yeah, definitely not a good move there. You didn't need to, shame him for it. It definitely says, yeah, I should have sent a scout over first, then do it. And Neo Gun says, yeah, noob move. So at least he acknowledges it. So they're good. They're cool about it. I do appreciate that. Constructive criticism is always a good thing. Learning and improving is, of course, the name of the game on here on the channel, because the more you learn, the more you can get better, and the better plays everyone will have, and it'll just be better competition kind of thing. But there's a huge column of mech marines just dotting the front lines, just going to push forward, just being like, look at me, I am going to charge with my forces, but this is not going to work. There's not enough units really to make it worth it, and they retreat. Yeah, it's definitely disappointing when you see all these little units that only have, 60 hit points, and they don't really do a whole lot. In large numbers, they can do a lot, but we're talking about just tiny cuts versus a 4100 plus shocker T3 strategic bomber. That's just a lot of hit point difference. Pings going down here for Team 2, ensuring that they grab the extra, obviously, reclaim and mass points to scoop up into their coffers. Eco now, Team 1 still starting to bring it back. That it is hovering back and forth, but there are points where Team 1's in the lead. Team 2 has gained the total mass accrued game, though, by about 5-6K, so not a huge amount. They do have more of the map control. They probably own about I don't know, probably like not 50%. I'd say like 60 almost, 55 most likely. It's almost split down the middle, but it's a little farther forward. All the mass extractors need to be gained. I would like to see Extractor push forward just a little bit on this northern side. There is this fire base over here. If they could knock this out, this is pretty much Team 2's only real main presence here. Well, they do have the the forward production facility, of course, but if that was taken out, then Team 1 could easily expand back. But we have a push out here to the south out here from Moresco, trying to take out units just holding down the fort. There is the comm of You Got Beef nearby. They see the comm of You Got Beef and are targeting the comm. Unfortunately, the blazes are currently engaged. There is an an obsidian nearby. I know lots of hit points, but it is kind of weak in terms of DPS. It can one-shot the Mantis, though, so that's neat. This just wasn't a big enough force. And Bernie issuing commands to his teammates saying, group together. I don't know what that was about. Maybe it was like an NG or something, but I don't know. We have ASFs again being taken out for Nero guns, so Team 2 still holding air control, make flak, says Zelda Boy right here. And that's probably a good idea. There are missiles constantly being launched onto this shield. It is T3. There's going to be a lot more missiles. Dozer has taken a severe hit, though. All of these rover drones are going to assist in that repping up of hit points once more. We have some Harbs appearing from Moresco as well. Very effective units here. We have reclaim orders from these NGs. They're just going to get wiped off the face of the map in that explosion out here from the duelist earlier on. And of course the explosion from Zelda. It just looks like Team 1 is just kind of holding back, not really pushing a whole lot. This would be the place I would focus some of my energies. There's hardly any defenses. There's a T3 mass extractor fairly far forward. There is a Omni factor facility as well. This would be a huge grab for Team 1 to take. They have Team 2 does have backup facilities in terms of radar, which I do like that move there. But missiles being launched all the time. There's just going to be more and more buzzkills being spammed, and now Ravagers are starting to appear. So it's starting to look not really that great. I do like the fact these missiles are constantly launching, though. So the Dozer isn't building enough missile defense, especially with the split of the missiles from the Cybern players. It's harder to deal with. The Harbs get into the back line here for Team 2 and are trying to get in deep. Unfortunately, there isn't any force out here from Team 1 to really take advantage of all of these forces retreating. I love the play. I just would have liked to see more units being built up to push that front line even further back. So the Strat Bomber goes over the top, disables these Harbs, and they might get a couple more kills, but it's not going to amount to a whole lot, unfortunately, for Moresco. The Flares, Hunters, that's what they're called, for Stitch the Stitch Boo player of Sea Striker are starting to push forward. Ravagers aren't super effective at taking out large groups of units. They're really effective at taking out like experimentals and that sort of thing. You can see one burst, and it's really hard to retrain them on another target. They can because they just fire for so long, but it's not as effective. But Mech Marines are not Mech Marines. The Mech Marine variety, the Hunters are starting to group up. It's kind of funny how I think it's the Flares for the Aeon and the Hunters look very similar. They're pretty much, what are they, ATRTs? They're like the all-terrain recon, not transports, but they're like, it's in Revenge of the Sith in Star Wars where they're like they're moving around on Kashyyyk. One of those walkers are called. I think they're ATRTs. Anyway, just distracted by thinking about Star Wars. I've been watching Ahsoka. It's been pretty good. It's not the best series, but it's been a lot better than, Book of Boba Fett and Obi-Wan and all of that. So, need AA, says Zelda. Yes, you need AA down here in the south. And we're going to have an army of Mech Marines and an army of Hunters go at it. Let's turn off the little icons and start to engage. The little tiny units for both teams are starting to make their way. We also have the big brother Mech Marines of the Titans on approach. And this is not going to look good for all of those Hunters. They're just going to get caught unawares and completely destroyed. The Titans make their approach onto these Harbs. The Harbs deal significant amount of damage to these Titans. Titans not really effective at taking out Harbs. They will take out one of them with the assistance of those Mech Marines, but unfortunately all the Titans do fall, and the Harbs can easily take out the rest of these Titans from Team 2. Let me turn on all the icons once more. There we go. We are at the 24.5-minute mark. Let me know down in the comments who do you think is going to win at the present time, or just your favorite moment. The tack snipe out here from a Sea Striker was very good. Unfortunately, they weren't really able to capitalize on that. There are some loyalists taking out auxiliary mexes here to the north. I would like to see Striker keep pushing forward and take those mexes, but he's not really doing so. That would boost their eco a significant amount, though. Team 1 still winning the eco game by a tiny bit. Team 2 is catching up ever so slightly. And I just don't see any effort. You don't need to upgrade all of your factories to HQs. You just don't need to do that. So Moresco, if you're watching this, you just need one factory to do that. It costs more and you don't really need to. I would have liked to see another factory here to kind of finish the arrangement, kind of like how it is over here to the west for the Dozer. But it's just really hard to get to this forward operating base now for Team 1. Just, you know, the Ravagers make it very hard to get even closer, so a huge land army needs to be built up. Walls are very effective, too, to help shield those turrets, but I feel like experimentals are the way of the game. Throwing away Harbs isn't really the best idea now that there's bricks on the field. They were effective a couple minutes ago, but the tankiness of the bricks, being called the brick wall, very hard to take out with just a couple Harbs. Especially when you have a Strat Bomber just hanging out, and it's that same Strat Bomber. It's still alive. So we'd like to see some ASF try to take those out, but we have a huge air force of Corsairs on approach. Where are they going? Well, they're going straight into that main base. The ASFs are called onto approach. The ASFs are going to be distracted, and it's going to be another air control win for Team 2. Very good move there, using the Corsairs as a distraction while the rest of the ASFs come and take them out. And now the Corsairs have nothing to worry about, and they can just rush into the main base of wherever they want to target. Looks like they might go after Neogun, cripple the air. You have air control for pretty much the rest of the game. Let's see, where are they going? The Corsairs are dying all the time. Some of them land. They're going after the comm, but there's just not enough. There's enough anti-air to force those other ASFs back and take out the rest of those Corsairs. So a good tactical move there. Just didn't have enough Corsairs. Down here in the south, we have a Tsar under construction here from Rogel Dorn, trying to get in the experimental game here. We also had an experimental built at some point for Moresco. There was a Monkey Lord that died. Oh, it's right here. It is the Galactic Colossus GC, says Rogel Dorn. Now, this is a good move here. There's hardly any ground units here. So just send the GC straight forward. Don't worry about what's going on over here. There's not a whole lot to worry about. You have some Harbs nearby. There's some bricks, but it's not a huge concern for your main base. This GC has to make dividends. Even if you lose it, it has to kill at least one player. I mean, and targeting Bernie would be pretty good. He is the highest rated player in the game. Maybe taking out the air player or taking out You Got Beef would be good. But unfortunately, it's going to be probably Bernie. Bernie needs to start moving back right now if he wants to get away. Bernie's still just hanging out underneath shield coverage. We have Cerberus being spammed up all the time, trying to do anything they can. There's no effort here from any of the other players on Team 2 to try to stop this push. Scout, says Zelda. Yeah, Scout would be nice so that he knows exactly where everything is, but it's kind of too late on that aspect. They don't have any really air presence. The Dozer has built an experimental. It is the... where is it? Somewhere, but we'll go look at the Colossus here. Charging that front line for Team 2. Let me try to... There we go. GG, says Bernie. Bernie trying to get away. You can see him running away. His entire base is just being uprooted as we speak. No. The Colossus needs to keep moving. Don't target all of the PD. Just keep moving forward. Pigeon's a good move there. You got to keep it moving. Let me turn on the... So you can see at least that... See, I want to... It won't... See, if I turn that off, I won't see how many hit points it is. I guess I'll do this so we can at least see it. But, you know, it is falling. That Colossus has to keep moving. You can't let it just sit and take free damage. You got to push that thing forward. Ranting a little bit here. Yeah, it's taking out the hit points on the Meg, but the Meg isn't even built yet. So don't focus on the shield. If you take out the comm, you'll take out everything else. Through, says Zelda. Yeah, the Galactic Colossus could have pushed forward, taken out at least Zelda, and then probably gone for You Got Beef. Constantly microing the laser isn't really that effective. This just allows Team 2 to just, move GC forward, says Zelda. Yeah, it's just not going good. The Tsar has now finished, so definitely not a good point here for that Colossus, and now the Colossus is going to fall even more rapidly. This is definitely a disappointment here for Team 1. Zelda, of course, very upset. No, keep it there, says Neo. No, you don't want to keep it there because it won't really matter, and that Colossus will fall without getting a kill on anybody. Could have probably gotten the comm of Bernie, but you just kept it there too long. And that's definitely going to be a serious blow to Team 1's morale, especially for Moresco. And there's just constantly salt being thrown at one another. Move the GC forward, yeah. It's just definitely disappointing on that front. The Tsar now just operating with impunity here. We have some of these Redeemers nearby. The Tsar has fallen to the yellow hit points, though. Fallen below 75%. There's not enough Air Force, and it's really not going to matter at this point. We have an SMD here for the comm. That's for Rorgol. He built it. It is Aeon, so not Cybran. For some reason I thought it'd be a You Got Beef, but apparently not. There isn't a SMD on this side of the map for Team 1. There is another experimental build, another GC, but Team 2 is not going to let that happen again. You already have bombers being spammed up, so they're going to have that already in the queue. I mean, it's just not really going to work. You could have... Oh, a large TAC missile battery. Goes for the comm of Dozer. Missile split apart. Impact the shield. Take out the shield strength. One shield's going to come back online here pretty soon. Dozer does move. Oh, that's disappointing. There are actually artillery shells landing all the time. More artillery landing, trying to take out that fat point out here from the Dozer. Dozer is going to fall back. Another TAC battery pulls out, but unfortunately, because all of those missiles impact at pretty much the exact same time, the shields, it's just not effective. And they take out a couple of the Ravagers. That's pretty good. And there are artillery shells landing all the time. I do like this PD and battery creep out here for Team 1. But unfortunately, there's a huge a huge group of Titans on approach. And that's going to wipe everything on this northern side. And just the shields are just being... if they're being micro, they're doing a pretty good job. But more and more shield coverage constantly being spammed up. Dozer is going to hold this position. There's just missiles being fired constantly now. And yeah, that's nice, but unfortunately it's just not enough to break that shield permanently. The artillery does land, takes out 2 shield emplacements, take out a third. The shield, well, shield gets, the missile gets in and it just gets destroyed. Bernie down here trying to repair his old base. Down here just trying to lick his wounds. Going to have a lot of reclaim to scoop up. 22,000 reclaim. That'll definitely get his economy back up and running. We have another Tsar already half done here for Rogel. Titans are on approach. They're going to take out this Gunther battery as well as the Cerberus as well. This push is not looking good. Where is that Colossus? Well, it's down here. It would have been a lot better up here to the north, but Team 1 not really coordinating with one another. And Neogun just spamming up his air grid. Don't really see any spicy plays there. We have Sea Striker going to spam up a bunch of ASFs. SAMs. That's not really do anything. There is a monkey nearby, so this will help the take out a lot of the teeth out of this push. But unfortunately, there's just a decent amount of Titans. Would have liked to see some Percivals here from Dozer as well, but didn't get those up. And you can just see the hit points start to be shredded. The Titans, of course, are weaker, so you kill the 700 with TML, but now you are joking. Joking. What are you talking about? Reclaim. Yeah, there's just a decent amount of reclaim on that side. Save Fat Boys. Let Fat Boys kill something. This Bernie. Where did that Fat Boy go? Is it back here? I saw it somewhere. It didn't die. At least I don't think it would. It wasn't that far forward. I don't know where it went. Where'd the fat boy go? I don't... Let's see. Reclaim. No, that's the Gunther battery. I don't see the fat boy wreck. What happened? That's weird. Anyway, let's go to the Colossus. Now it's pushing on You Got Beef side of things. But there's another Tsar on approach. Mariska builds another experimental. He's just going to pump out GCs. That's his name of the game. Unfortunately, your opponent has now known what you're doing. He does have a decent assisting force as well. And that's probably what he was missing in the first push. Had he had some more, bullet sponges or additional forces, that push would have meant a whole lot. Some bombers is not gonna do anything. T1 isn't really gonna do a whole lot. Pushing the front line of Team 1 though, Team 2 is gonna do a decent amount. The Monkey Lord does fall to Ravagers. It wasn't really the best idea assaulting it alone. Waste says Zelda. Yeah, there's just Zelda just constantly just disappointed, I feel like, in this game. He is the highest rated player on his team though. The ASFs, don't tell me you're going to go straight for that Tsar. The Redeemers out here are going to start taking out those hit points. The shield is going to fall here pretty quickly. The ASFs try to come in. They don't commit. They kind of commit. They don't really commit. They go after the Tsar that's almost dead. That's a good move there. The Tsar is going to fall, take out some units below it. The second Tsar falling a decent amount as well. The Redeemers should be moving, trying to get out of the way though. Tsar gets a rank in veterancy. The anti-air is trying to push as much as it can. It falls into the red. Oh, is it enough though? Are there enough units? No, there's not. The Tsar will stay alive. The GC looks like was taken out. I don't see it anymore. And these Harbingers are just going to suffer a fate by being evaporated by multiple different types of lasers and plasma fire. So definitely disappointing for Team 1. Again, another push that had a lot of potential, but just ended up falling flat. Some work, again, was done on that first push, but it's not going to happen again. So, especially with the line of Cerberus that's been built now. So, Team 2 did lose a Tsar on their side of the field and just left a bunch of reclaims. So, that's going to be all in Team 2's hands. Yep, there's the... Oh, there's his feet. Oh, that looks weird. He's buried in the sand. That's actually a good screenshot. Just buried in the sand. Oh, stop it. There we go. Just buried in the sand. The feet of a Colossus. Look at that thing. Just look at that. Just like, I am hiding in the sand. His buddy's like, you can't see me. I'm hiding in the sand. Anyway, I'm just getting a nice little screenshot there for the thumbnail. I just couldn't see it because it was in, of course, the sand. I think that's just a funny little visual thing there. We have another GC on approach. These Rascoms are not going to favor too well. There is a Monkey Lord nearby. If if the GC can get some chain reactions going, this would be worth it. Take out a decent amount of those Rascoms. But there's the assisting army and just all of the Rascoms nearby. Take mobile AA, says Neogun, and looks like Moresco's not listening. And unfortunately, there's just so many bricks nearby, it's not really going to matter. Some of the bricks get sucked off by those vacuum hands. The Monkey Lord does fall. You should be targeting the bricks, not the Rascoms at this point, because it's not really going to matter. And looks like the GC tries to target the bricks in his hand and ends up dying. And again, that's the third GC that's fallen on Team 2 side of the map. Team 2, in terms of reclaim, 159,000, so more than almost doubling Team 1's reclaim. And you can just tell the difference. Team 2 is winning by 160,000 mass. About half of that has come just from reclaim. In terms of generated eco, Team 2 is significantly sped ahead with all of their T3 mexes and whatnot due to the fact of all of the mass that has been dumped. That firebase has finally been taken out for the Dozer against Team 2, or against Team 1. So Team 1 wins in terms of that. They have more map control now. They're just not utilizing it. Look how many mexes have not been built. Yeah, some stuff has been destroyed, but look at all these mexes. You got like 6 here, and you got, those were just killed off. You got another 6 up here. That's 12 mexes. You got this corner of the map. Here's like, 4 more. You got another section of 4. That's, we're talking about 20-something mass extractors that aren't even being used. And Team 2 was just building all of their eco up to the point where they're just going to run over Team 1 at this point. They're losing map control. But what's the point in map control if you don't even utilize the map control that you have? Like, you got to use what you got. And looks like Moresco spamming out H headquarters as best you can. Yeah, they increase production, but you could just build a bunch of NGs and do it even faster. So it's not really worth it for having 4 T3 headquarters unless you're worried about redundancy. But a T3 artillery, now that's something. An emissary is coming online. Do we have anything following suit on Team 1 side of things? Nope. A crab is under construction. Don't TP here, Czar, says Zelda. Yeah, that Czar will just annihilate Wargle. That's the downside with Cyberns now in this game, is it's a no-shit. There is now a Scathis starting to come online at 40 minutes, so that's going to be dangerous. You probably shouldn't put P-Gens there because it does not get an advantage to the adjacency because it's considered a unit and not a structure, so it does not sync up to that. Ravager spam, again, down here on the little tips here of the landmass here for Team 2. Gonna shove these bricks and monkey away. Air fight again once happening. Now it's happening over some SAMs and mobile units, these Redeemers. Team 2 still gonna claim air control, but take a decent amount of losses for it as well. There's a decent amount of SAMs being built up here for Neo. So he's trying to lock out Team 2's air, but unfortunately down here in the south now we have a crab, we have bricks, we have a monkey lord just pushing forward. There's nothing here to really defend against that. There might be a GC online, but a combined push out here from Team 2 will make the difference. Moresco might fall to this. There's nothing nearby. Absolutely nothing. That artillery does come online. Shots do open up. Now, where is that targeting? I would go after an exposed player. The air grid is the target. Takes out a decent amount of that air grid with a couple of shots. If you could target the comm, that would be even better. You can see the comm. Target the comm. It's not moving as of right now. That air grid is almost destroyed. I do like that play there. The Tsar can still build air units, but not as quickly and not as I don't know what. I think the mass cost is the same. At least I would assume so. Incoming bricks appearing for Sea Striker. They're just the distraction at this point to delay incoming forces from Team 2. That's GC has been built, not the CG, but the GC. Miasma. The Gunthers are Cybern. Spamming up, trying to do their best can to ward off this incoming force. And yeah, look, it's still no mexes. You have a bunch of engineers just doing nothing. And you haven't really pushed that advantage. You built a Soothsayer, and you're scooping up the reclaim. That's good at something, but getting the stable mass income is definitely what you need. Wait for Zara to leave the base, then snipe them, says Zelda. Please scout red, says Bernie. So both players kind of eyeing for some sort of push here. There is a shield underneath that comm. You can see the artillery starting to rain down pretty close by. Takes out that shield, takes out the P-Gen. Going after the headquarters, definitely a good move there on the artillery side of things. The Monkey Lord is pushing forward. I don't know where that brick was going, but that brick got sucked up. Now the Megalith is in range. If Team 1 can take out the Monkey Lord at least, that will definitely be a benefit. Bernie gets killed by Neogun. Apologies for missing it. Neogun gets killed by the Dozer. So the air player now for Team 1 gets destroyed. The ground player for Team 2 gets destroyed. The monkey will fall now in about a couple seconds. Sea Striker picks and actually, the Megalith gets destroyed. Apologies, not the monkey. I think it would have been better if the monkey had died, honestly. All that goes up in smoke. We have Moresco leaving the front line. He knows what's going to happen. But there is now a counter crab out here from Striker. The ASF and the Tsar come in overhead. There aren't a lot of SAMs being built up. The air player built the SAMs. They probably would have liked that for now. The comm of Moresco is the target. Assassination is the name of the game. Moresco's going to try to get under shield coverage. The laser's going to just laser him. Does he get under it? No, just inches away. Oh, no. That's got to hurt. SAMs open up onto the nearby air units. The SAMs have to focus down that Tsar. Lazar's going to land. Oh, it's going to hurt. Ooh. It takes out everything over here to the east. And now it's just Sea Striker versus Dozer, Royal Dune, Dorn, and You Got Beef. So it's 3v1 now at 43 minutes. We still have a monkey on approach. The project for the Mantis, for the Scathis, has been abandoned. This monkey might get some decent value out of here. There's some bricks following it. There's really not a whole lot. There is a fat boy nearby. Quantum Gateway goes down. Now it goes down. Shields are going down. PDs are going down. There is a decent amount of Percy's in the mix. So we have Mass Extractors going down as well. So it's getting a decent amount of value for this push. Is it really worth it? I don't think so. He's going to try to go for the comm of Royal. Royal is going to move out of the way. There is a GC being built as we speak. The Percy's and Bricks are trying to follow him. We have Rascoms as well. T1 bombers are trying to take it out. Oh, there's another P-Gen down here. That'd be a nice target. But you just got to keep pushing it. Don't stop. Don't let any of those units catch up. You just got to keep pushing it. Okay. It's going, taking out the shield coverage, going for the GC that's being built. T1 PD being spammed up. That the monkey walking over that mass extractor. The gosh dang it, the monkey lord. They both start with M. NGs are being focused down. Take out the P-Gen, good move there. Take out the other P-Gen, that one falls. Oh, take out the... Oh, it's not under shield coverage. Oh, it almost takes out that headquarters. So, I mean, a decent amount of value for that. You can see the amount of reclaim. How much reclaim is on this map now? 785,000. That is so much reclaim. That's enough to build 3 Paragons. So, a lot of mass. Both teams just got to spam up NGs and just go... attack, move forward. And now there is a Novax online for the Dozer. There's no shield coverage here for Striker. This is going to hurt. Striker has actually deactivated his shield. Does he have power issues? Yes, he does. He needs to build power as best he can. He's not really doing a whole lot to mitigate that. He is building an ion reactor as we speak. Would have liked to see that built underneath the shield coverage, though, to protect it. The ion reactors are being focused by the Novax. Very good move from the Dozer. Crippling the power means that the enemy can't build shields or maintain shields, which means it's pretty much easy pickings for them. Striker has been pinged by Team 2. Laser takes out the other 2 shields. Very good move there. Below 1,000 players are just hard to watch, says Zelda. I mean, I agree with that sometimes. There are below 1,000 players that are actually pretty good. Sea Striker did have that good TAC missile snipe against Ryan earlier on. But it's just you have the Megalith. I mean, honestly, you should have just brought that back to base and left it there. They let you blow off your steam and then show us how it is all done. Very well. Yeah, well done, says Bernie. At least there is some congratulations going on both teams, just being some good camaraderie. The shields have been established here for Sea Striker. He's going to hold off the incoming laser from those space lasers from the defense satellites, the Star Wars project, as it was coined in the 80s by Ronald Reagan. The reclaim efforts here for Team 2 is a decent amount on the field, of course. How much is just on like this corner of the map? There's 200 of it versus the 788. So like a little under a third. It's pretty good. We have Strat Bombers now assisting with the slow death by 1,000 cuts by Megalith, by that Megalith, or on that Megalith. Wow. English is hard today, folks. English is hard. Teller's on the way, says Neogun. Get Mass next. Yeah, he does, he needs to get back up and running. He could come back from this, but losing P-Gens is not helping. T-Striker is positive for mass, so he has a full mass bar. He needs to spend mass like it's going out of style. He's not really doing a whole lot. Team 2 has some sort of plan going on. Reclaim is the first order of business, and then he looks like Dozer has built another Novax, so 2 might be enough to punch through those shields. You can see the second one flying overhead as we speak. The Omni does go down. The Soothsayer goes down. Don't really need both on the same place because the Soothsayer pretty much does what the Omni does except with vision. The Megalith finally falls. And that's going to hurt. Pretty much there's nothing to defend the main base for Team 1 of Striker. Striker trying to survive as best he can. Pumping out shields. Pumping out on reactors. He needs to get his shield game online. He does have a monkey that's about to finish. He needs to, again, spend that mass. He's probably still... No, he's spending it now. That's good. But just team the eco in terms of what we're talking about. He only has 173 mass versus the 756. There's T1 bombers on approach. That's going to hurt. A couple strap bombers as well. Looks like there is a Monkey Lord and a Fat Boy with assisting Rascoms. You don't see that every day. At least them assisting the Fat Boy specifically. Spamming up a SMD. Not really important at this stage. If Striker had a bomb, that'd be something. And Striker will go down to all of those bombers. Good thing I caught it at the last second. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Again, if you liked the cast, please hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. And, of course, if you haven't subscribed, if you've been enjoying the content, please hit that red subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. And, again, thank you so much to everybody who's watched the video this far. Again, I just appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I will see all of you in the next one.